So for embarrassingly 10 plus years, all I really knew how to do was just play my normal cowboy chords, as we call them, G and C and D and A. And I really couldn't move around the neck. I mean, I knew a few bar chords here and there, but nothing really clicked, and the neck seemed like a mystery. I wanted to be able to do what those other people were doing and just running all over the neck. And I want to share with you this aha moment, and it came with a very simple chord, which was a B minor. Now, when I was taught a B minor, I was taught to play it like this. And this isn't wrong, but this shape didn't look familiar to me. I didn't realize what this was at the time. I actually thought that this shape was unique, like the G shape or the A or the D or something like that. And then one day I saw somebody play a B minor like this. And it took a minute, but eventually this finally clicked that I know this shape. I didn't know this one. This one didn't look familiar to me. But when they laid their finger across, I realized that this shape that these three fingers are making, I know what this shape is. This is an A minor. This is an A minor shape moved up 2 frets. I know what you're thinking, Dave, you're stupid for not seeing that, and I agree. And I spent way too much of my life not seeing something this simple. So what really started clicking in my head was that this A shape is actually movable anywhere around the neck. And this meant 2 things. One, a very simple thing, which meant that I could play any minor chord I wanted, no matter what it was. So if I wanted to play a B flat minor, well, I know where B minor is. If I move it this way, now I can play B flat minor. That means that any minor chord that I run across, I can now play if I can figure out, where to move this shape to play it. Now, because the A minor shape is movable, so is the A shape, and this was one of those epiphanies that I had. So I knew that I could move this shape around the guitar neck, but I needed to figure out, wherever I moved this, what chord am I playing? And then I realized, it finally clicked with me that I need to memorize the notes on the G string, because this is a G. If I play a G string open, that's a G. I'm laying my finger flat on the 2nd fret, that makes an A. So that means that wherever I lay my finger flat, the note on the G string is going to tell me what chord I'm at. And after looking at it for a while, I realized that there is a pattern here. So if I come up here to the 5th fret and I lay my finger flat, this is a C. The next dot makes a D. The next dot makes an E. And then I realized that when I get to the 12th fret, it's a G. So that made me realize that when I get to the 12th fret, the guitar actually starts back over. So if I actually wanted to play an A up here, well, I know where G is. I just move it up 2 frets, just like I did down here. I move it up 2 frets, and now I'm playing an A chord again. And oh my God, this really opened up the guitar neck, because I realized I don't have to learn all of the neck. I only have to learn to the 12th fret. After that, it starts back over. So anything that I can do down here, I can now do up here. The guitar just repeats itself. So what does this mean as far as moving around the neck? Well, I knew how to play a few simple things. So, remember, I had been playing for a decade, little cowboy chords, so I had figured out there were little licks that I could play around this A chord shape. And I didn't realize it at the time, but this was part of a bigger scale that we call the major pentatonic scale. But even if we just look at the little things I knew how to do, like playing something 2 frets away while I'm in this A chord shape, that means that anywhere I move on the neck, I can do this same thing that I'm doing down here. I can do it anywhere. And because I knew where to put my finger to make chords, then it means that I can play, let's say we're in the key of A. The 3 chords that you would have would be like an A, a D, and an E. And remember, on the dot here on the 7th fret, that's a D. The next dot is an E. So that means that I don't have to stay down here to play D and E. I can actually move up the guitar neck to play D and E. But it also meant that anything that I can do here around this A chord shape, I can move up and now play it in D. And then when the chord of the song goes to E, I can move that up 2 frets, and I can play over that E chord in the song, and then back to A. So now I was able to kind of move around the guitar neck. And then it also hit me, hey, if the guitar starts over at the 12th fret, and I've played in E, the chord goes to D, so now I can play my little licks around D. Chord goes to E, so now I can play my little licks around E. I don't have to jump all the way back down here to play my A. I can come up here and play around this A as the guitar starts over. So now I'm able to play all around the neck. Now, yes, it was just simple licks that I knew around this A chord shape. But now I'm able to kind of follow the chord of the song and move around the guitar neck. And this was one of those moments that really started connecting the dots, that if I can just play around these movable chords, whatever little licks I knew, whatever little embellishments I knew around a movable chord shape, I can start moving them around the guitar neck. And I can start playing kind of anywhere that I want to. And I hope that this kind of is clicking in your head, that you don't have to necessarily learn all these scales and patterns, just realizing that you can move these chords around, figuring out where these chords are as you move them up and down the neck, playing the little embellishments or some little lick that you know around a chord shape, and realize that if you move it up as the chord in the song changes, you just kind of follow the chords of the song, you can move around the guitar neck, come up with completely different sounds, and kind of be able to play anywhere. Now, obviously, I want you to connect all of these shapes and patterns together, because I don't want you to have to move way up to play a D. I want you or jump way back here to play an A. I want you to be able to play them everywhere. But to start with, if you don't know how to move around the neck, this was that aha moment that really opened it up and started making life easier. So I really do hope this helps. I hope it's clicked for you. And as always, if you need something, reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you.